Hello there, YouTube. The dump had absolutely nothing for me today, but the thrift store gods did hear my wishes, and they brought me this $10 IBM ThinkPad, which appears to be a later one because there's a Bluetooth logo up here, implying that this came equipped with Bluetooth, which would have been no earlier than the 2001 ThinkPad A30p. Let's get a look at the left side I.O. We got dual USB 2.0, S-video out, modem, 10100 Ethernet, or maybe it's actually gigabit by this point. I know my D600 has gigabit. Express card slot on top and PCMCIA on bottom. People can't memorize computer industry acronyms. On the front, I believe this is where the Wi-Fi passes through, and here's the latch to open the lid. On this side, we have our hard drive caddy, which is secured in. Same for this CDRW DVD-ROM drive. Not even DVD-RW, that's a little bit lame, but it's whatever, really. That's also locked in, which is like one of very few times, if ever, that I've seen a ThinkPad's optical drive just locked into place. And we have a VGA port with the screws, so this is very much a real computer. And we have a battery, which who knows if it works. It's about 19 years old. Power jack here. A parallel port, which is colored gray on this model. Some laptops in this chassis had a purplish parallel port. And here's the bottom. IBM. There's the Windows XP Professional COA. Go ahead and take that. I really don't care. This is a Type 2669 CTO. There's the serial number. Manufactured June 2006. So this is a pretty late ThinkPad to bear the IBM name. Because if you look at the COA, it says Lenovo Singapore. Over here, there are references to copyright 2005 Lenovo, manufactured for Lenovo Singapore. So this was one of those post-acquisition ThinkPads. Well, post-Lenovo acquisition. As the sticker up here says, I paid about $10 for it. And yeah, that is actually how much I paid. Blue tags weren't half off. It wasn't member discount Tuesday or anything like that. Today's Friday. I just happened to walk into the thrift store today and I saw this ThinkPad not even behind the counter, so I was like, it appears to be in good condition, so I'll buy it. I could probably make my money back from reselling it on eBay or selling it within my friend group. Anyway, let's open the lid. And here's the top. The keyboard, yeah, there's a little bit of wear, but it's overall in good condition. It has one of the inset dish caps, which I actually prefer to the typical caps that you would see on these. Let's see. It's actually not that dirty underneath, unlike the W530 that I got back in June. And also, I got a funny keyboard for my W530, so I can mod that at some point. I just haven't gotten to it yet. The T43 has a matte cover for the power button and volume. Whereas the T40 I used to have, that had a glossy cover. So I guess that was a change that they made pretty late into the 4 series of ThinkPads. Well, T4s. But yeah, these T4 series ThinkPads aren't exactly what I'd call some of the better ThinkPads, or better flagship ThinkPads, because these were really thin for the time for a 14-inch laptop. Some of these were 15 inches as well, but this one is 14 as per usual for these. And these had a tendency to have the board flex and shatter the GPU. I don't know if this one has been affected yet, but usually it's the earlier ones that are more affected, and the later ones are less likely to be affected. Okay, the spacebar is seeming a little bit loose. Should still be operational, though. A little bit loose, but it's not coming off or anything like that. Keyboard feels decent, as you would expect for a ThinkPad keyboard. This has a pretty worn out Intel Centrino sticker, and you might just be able to make it out. But that's where a graphics by ATI sticker would have gone. So this T43 most likely would have shipped with ATI graphics, the Mobility Radeon X300, which is pretty neat. This did not come with a charger, so I'm just going to use one of my own. Let's plug this in. Okay, it seemed to have received power. Okay, the light is blinking, so that probably means the battery is shot, or it's trying to charge the battery. Let's power this on. Okay, yeah, the screen looked fine to me when I saw it in store. Although I couldn't tell if it actually lit up or anything. Backlighting looks somewhat uneven, given that this is a CCFL backlight. Also, the backlight went out, because I see the ThinkPad logo is still there. It says entering IBM BIOS setup utility. Check date and time. System CMOS checksum bad. 2006-0220. Pentium M processor, 1.86 gigahertz, 1 gig of RAM, Yeah, I can somehow make that out, even though I'm pretty sure the backlight probably shot itself. I'm hoping the backlight fuse didn't blow out or anything. Let me turn off my lights here. See if that was just a fluke or if the backlight actually shot itself. Yeah, the backlight didn't come back on. If the backlight really just shot itself, then that's pretty lame, but the rest of this works, I guess. I might need to bring out an external monitor, but all I have is VGA. Or actually, I do have a port replicator that can do DVI out, but I don't know if that'll work well with my portable monitor. We'll have to try it. Nope, turns out the T2 dock, even though it uses the same port as the T4 series ThinkPads, is not compatible because they offset the port just enough on the T4s to make it incompatible. Well, I guess I'm going to have to break out a VGA monitor. Alright, I'm just going to point this at the monitor the entire time. Okay, it's already showing up on the monitor instead of the internal display. Maybe it's showing up on both, but I don't see anything on the other one. Okay, video BIOS shadowed. Let's readjust that. I don't know, something just still doesn't look quite right there. So this one is taking a little longer than usual in the BIOS. Okay, mouse initialized. It's probably still going to keep nagging me about the date and time. NetExtreme Ethernet. So I guess that's gigabit. IBM hard drive active protection. Does this have recovery media? We'll have to enter the date and time first, but there's all the system information that I was talking about earlier. Alright, I'm going to press the Access IBM button. Media test failure or what? Guess it's trying to boot over Pixie? Operating system not found. Okay, I guess the 3-finger salute isn't working, or 2 fingers in this case, because I can actually press Control-Alt with 1 and then delete with a second. I'm going to turn this off and just let it boot like normal. Okay, so there does not appear to be a hard drive installed, or at least I can't detect one. But there is the disk drive, so we could pop something in. Alright, I'm going to load in this pretty old disk of Ubuntu 10.04. Is there anything in the optical drive? No, there isn't. Good. Now, does the optical drive even work? Maybe, maybe not. Okay, the light is blinking. I hear it spinning. It's spinning down. Is it going to spin up? Okay. English. Try Ubuntu without installing. I'd say this is a rather realistic Linux distro that would have gone onto one of these, as Pentium M's were getting rather old by 2010. Even though this laptop would have been only 5 years old in hardware, or 4 years old in age of when it was actually built. If someone got this T43 in 2006, then it had to have been significantly cheaper than a T60 to be worthwhile on the savings. Because jumping from 2005 to 2006 in laptop world is a significant jump, whether it's Apple or any Windows computer. Okay, Ubuntu, it's scaling to 1440 by 900. It's hard to believe that 10.04 is 15 years old. This startup screen still looks modern to me. Finding the save state of the serial devices. glib warning, failed due to unknown user ID. Okay, now it's not in 1440 by 900 for some reason. Maybe it was trying to do 1024 by 768, which I want to say is the native res of the panel, but, well, the built-in panel that the backlight shot itself on out of nowhere. Device is too warm, FPS is reduced. Oh, brilliant. And there goes the menu being unable to render itself properly. What happens if we run LSPCI? Okay, yeah, it seems like it's trying to mimic the internal display's resolution because I can just make it out. ATI M22 Mobility Radeon X300. Ethernet controller is a NetExtreme Gigabit. Okay, good thing it's Gigabit because the screen actually worked, then I would be doing WDS for installing Vista or whatever. Intel Pro Wireless 2200 BG. That is expected for the era. AC97 audio. Feel free to read the rest of those at your own terms. Pause if you want to read. Laptop LCD monitor. Goes up to 1024 by 768. Yeah, only 1024 by 768 screen. That's kind of lame. If the screen's backlight is what went out, then I guess I'm not too bummed about that. But then there's also the inverter board, which could have gone out, or maybe the backlight fuse on the board itself. Okay, the spec of this machine is roughly what I was expecting. But I want to press install Ubuntu 10.04 because I want to see if there's a hard drive in here. At least one that the installer can pick up. Only the best time zone. Prepare partitions. Okay, so I guess that there is no hard drive in here that can be picked up. But the hard drive caddy is secured, so I guess the hard drive is just really shot in this machine. Alright. Remove the disk, close the tray, and press enter. Alright, now I'm going to get my screwdriver out so we can see if this has a hard drive in it or not. Alright, reveal your secrets. Does this have a hard drive or no? And it seems like... Oh. The cover's feeling a little light, so maybe this doesn't have a hard drive in it. There's no hard drive in here. Well, okay, at least the person had the decency to remove the hard drive and put the cover back on. I mean, granted, there are the hard drive mounting screws missing, but, like, who cares? Just improvise with your own screws. Remove this RAM cover. Let's see what module is in here. Does it have two 512s or a single 1 gig? Okay, is a single 1 gig under the keyboard, which I guess is not a bad thing, because just put in one more 1 gig DDR2 module and this will be maxed out at 2 gigs. Although, really, I'm probably just going to end up selling this for parts because the backlight is shot. Quite frankly, it probably would have been a gamble anyway if I bought this at $10. But yeah, I'm going to let this charge up and I'm going to wipe it down with some disinfecting wipes. And also do that to some of my other ThinkPads and the Latitude C840 I got at the swap meet back last week. I did it with the Bluey 6400 that I got, but I haven't done it with everything else that I got yet. It's been here for over an hour. I think it got stuck here, even though I'm pretty sure it still responds to caps lock. Yeah, it does. Let's turn this off. I probably nuked it anyway. Let's see. Please tell me it didn't nuke the BIOS. Okay, no, it still works, but man, this was disappointing.